hate that we get to this point where we get into a delusional realm where we try to say the outside world's opinion of us isn't as strong or stronger than our spouses. And that's a lie. Because, if a million dudes said, and not dudes, people, dudes and girls said a bunch of negative things about you, that love from your spouse is still not strong enough to keep you in a positive mood.
Thank you.
Regardless, I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt as much, forget as much. It won't bring you back. And so if that can kill, it won't bring you back. So if that can kill you.
Bring me back where?
Bring you back to your confidence being high.
Remember, to see your body, I had to date you, court you, be nice to finally see what's under your clothes.
Exactly.
But on IG, 3 billion men can see what I had to work hard to see by simply just being in the right algorithm.
That's why
right time.
The word
and you today said that it don't affect me, but the 100 I'm uglies did affect you. That means it does have access to your emotions,
absolutely,
to your soul.
Yes.
So it does feel good getting 100. You look bad as fuck.
I never said that it didn't.
I was about to say
it didn't.
We never denied that made. I said that feeds our ego.
It does.
It does. It does add to our ego. It makes us feel good about ourselves because we know that we just dropped the fire picture. We're getting a lot of
IG for a man.
No.
If a man told you, Amanda, I love you a lot, yo, and yo, you on that show, yo, you blowing up. And it's like a lot of men are in the comments requesting you, yo. And I feel as though, you know what? I'm going to take my IG. I'm going to delete my IG. How about you? Do yours too.
Well, that is that was a question. How about you? Nah, this is my business. I gotta keep my Instagram.
So if me and you in love and Alan told you, Amanda, listen, I'm gonna post you, regularly every week. You're gonna still have contact on IG. You'll be visible on our YouTube, Spotify, Applefy. But he tells you, I love you. IG is having me feeling insecure. Your DMs are always buzzing.
Well, that was that one thing right here.
Choose IG over love.
The first thing you said is IG is having me feel insecure. So my answer is no. That's a you problem. You got to get over that. First of all, I want to take a social media cleanse all the time, but you know what? I can't. I can't stay off of Instagram for too long because I get my traffic. It's the business
So you
card.
would choose a digital app over someone you love,
over your husband,
over y'all about to be engaged.
No, just say
yo,
make it simple.
Too much for me.
Just make it simple. Would you choose?
Alan has an IG, so you're gonna be. Remember, Alan has an IG, so they know who you are.
They run
they see you on YouTube.
She's still an entity. Like, you have to understand what she's saying.
That's an unfair choice.
Okay, so what if she didn't do TV?
Somebody that loves you is not going to take away something that you need because they feel insecure. Correct. That is not even an
unhealthy request.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what if you run on TV?
That's an unhealthy request. Here's the thing. Someone asking you to do something because they have this revelation about what needs to be done or be changed, that's their journey to have. And when someone tries to impose the journey that they're on and their healing journey, let's say he has this epiphany about how reckless and how shameful and how much access it can provide, and he decides as a man he does not want any woman to have contact with him. He wants to respect his marriage to that degree. That's his journey. That's his healthy response based on what he has actualized. She has her own journey to have. He cannot put that onto her and expect for her to, at the drop of a dime, get to where he just got to because he had this epiphany. That's like somebody who just realizes, you know what? I want to dedicate my life to God. I want to do this, then, and third. And you know what? We're doing this right now. No, she has to have her own authentic journey. He can share his experience. He can share his epiphany. They can have a conversation about it. But ultimately, you want a woman to be able to make a decision that is authentic, right?
Wait, can we?
Yes.
What is an unhealthy request?
So it's an unhealthy request.
Like, if I tell you,
because it's imposing.
We both not eating pork in this house no more.
Yes, it's unhealthy. Just because you decided that pork isn't good for you or isn't good for everybody, you can't just be like, okay, yeah, we're not eating pork no more, so you got to give it up by tomorrow.
We scratched the unhealthy request because he had a revelation. I want to know the meat and potatoes on this. Are you choosing Instagram over love? Which one is it?
That's how you gonna break it down?
Which one is it? I'm not breaking down the revelation. I'm not adding none of the conflating things.
Are
you choosing Instagram? Are you choosing?
Answer your own question.
Am I choosing Instagram over love? Me? Yes. Hundo's choosing Instagram over love.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Asking for something that only benefits you. The other person is not like ready for that. Like me. Hey, I want to be vegan. maybe she's not ready to be vegan.
All right, guys.
That's your journey to
Our new
have.
topic is: are you choosing Instagram over love? Yes or no, Cassandra?
Am I choosing Instagram over love? I'm going to choose.
I said he loves you a lot. He loves you.
Yes. Hold on.
Just
let her answer.
Lay it on me. Go ahead.
Look.
Go ahead. Lay it on.
Just let her answer.
Yeah.
No.
Listen.
Okay, listen. Are you choosing Instagram
If he
over
wasn't
love?
who you was, and you was a regular person with a regular job that didn't require IG to be good in life, would you leave it alone for your boyfriend?
Before I had a public page, my page was private.
Just stop giving her shit. Just go.
For friends and family only. That's it. If I don't know you and my husband doesn't know you, you do not need to be following me. I don't need to be following you unless you are a business, a brand, or anything like that. That's a boundary that we chose to have in our marriage. You know what I'm saying? That was an agreement. That was a co-agreement.
I hate when girls say,
okay, just
I know my followers.
Answer the goddamn question.
It'd be 1,000 followers, and her party be with 5 motherfuckers there. I had a girl
No.
one time going, I know all my followers. They're good people. Her party come, 5 motherfuckers there.
So
No.
okay, so
I'm
look.
lying saying y'all know your followers,
Yeah.
Can I
please.
just all right? Are you choosing Instagram over love? Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay, Amanda, are you choosing Instagram
Yep, I
over
said
love?
Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, can we say that y'all choosing money over love?
No,
Because
I'm
Instagram is
choosing
influenced by your
principle over
business, right?
I'm choosing principle and respect over love.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with money, and I'm gonna tell you.
What's
You-
the principle?
The principle is, first of all, asking your partner to give up something because you feel insecure or you don't feel comfortable with something. That's not a healthy relationship.
Correct.
I shouldn't have to give up something because you're insecure
It
about
is the same conversation.
It is the same. Yes, it is the
not.
same
It's the same
conversation.
conversation.
You're
dating
insecure about
somebody.
something that is, like she said, that's your journey. You
Yeah.
got to deal with that on your own. You
said it
figure
was
out
that?
some way to be secure with that, because if you cannot and I have to give up something to benefit you and I am out, it does not benefit me in any way, and I am out of money and I'm out of whatever.
But what
You
if
listen
he
to
pays the
yourself?
bills?
What if who pays
What if
my
he's the
man?
provider for you? And he's a provider. He pays the bill. Go, listen, yo, I love you a lot, but IG, I can't really.
Then
dig
I would
it.
have to be very
stop giving her
dependent on my man then.
Okay, what happens if a
Because
study was
he
done?
took something away from me, and now I have to look to him for money.
So let's say if a study was done,
Mhm.
and you're 75% more likely to sustain and obtain a healthy, happy marriage, right? But you have to get rid of social media for it. Are you going to choose the marriage or are you going to choose social media?
If my whole life did not depend on my social media, I would happily say, all right, I'll get rid of it. So my answer still stands.
So
I think a fair thing to say in this case is that my husband and I will discuss it, and my husband and I will make a decision on what's best for our family.
Open to
I
it.
understand that Instagram, Facebook, social media is a gateway opportunity for people to get reacquainted with past loves and all of these things. But at the end of the day, you need to have self-discipline. How many other things are you going to start to chip away and box me into so that you can feel more safe and secure? Why don't we just work on?
What are we?
Whoa.
Like, this is just being not
but
heard.
finish my
Rico, I don't
sentence.
even understand why
Why?
you're not understanding the connection to what we're saying with
Wait,
this
no,
whole
'cause
Instagram
The
stuff.
thing that you guys aren't understanding is that you feel as if Instagram is your only source of income and identity. That's what y'all not understanding.
it's
no.
not.
Listen, hold on. Because you said, quote unquote, if my whole life wasn't on Instagram, as if you can't have a life outside of Instagram, as if you can't make money outside of social media, as if you can't live outside of social media. So when you really think about it, you are more invested in something that is an app than you are your own happy, loving life, which is really the eye-opener for men and women who are watching this episode right now.
Rico, let me tell you what that sounds like to me. That sounds like, okay, Amanda, you make money off of Instagram right now. So if you shut it down, you can find another way to make money. But I don't want you to make money off of Instagram because Instagram, you're going to be too open to temptation. There's going to be too much problems in our relationship, and our relationship isn't going to be healthy. And how much percent? 75% not going to be able to survive if you stay on there.
So essentially, the blanket statement is being made: Instagram or love, and there's just so much. Understand that you're asking a blanket statement around something that a person has to put a picture or emotion and connect to it. I can understand what I have with Instagram right now because I have a relationship in that space. But we're making a blanket statement around this happy, healthy, loving relationship that doesn't really exist right now. So I don't know exactly what a person is choosing. What I'm saying is that if someone comes to the revelation that it is in their best interest to come off of Instagram because of the facade that it creates and the potential for people to fall in love with these fake dreams, and that's what works for their relationship, go for it. But there are so many marriages that are healthy, that do have Instagram pages, that are fine. They practice discipline, they practice self-control, and they mind their business. They do the work in their marriage, for their marriage, inside of their marriage, with their children, and they mind their business, which is something actually I am like really wanting men to do a little bit differently. I wanted to talk to you guys about this and actually talk about this too. I find that men who complain about women that speak a lot on Instagram have a lot to say about women that are unhealthy. They're the modern women. They're selfish. But there are a lot of good men that are in wonderful relationships, and they're not speaking up about what it takes to have a healthy, wonderful marriage. A lot of good men who are in good marriages, good wives, do not speak as much or as loud as men who are unhappy.
In my opinion, a lot of men can't come out and talk about, how to mentor kids and how to be married. You know why? Why? Because marriage, the work never stops. So you're still learning on the fly, right? If I was married at 25 and now I'm 30, my wife is different at 30, I'm different at 30, and how I'm going to mentor somebody at 30 and I'm learning this new wave. Now I'm 40. My wife is different at 40. I'm different at 40. Our relationship dynamic is different. You can't mentor a marriage. The best way I would say is just to be disciplined and understand you need to choose.
I disagree.
It can be said in any profession, because I'm a psychologist and I'm not. But if I was, and I'm giving it, let's say, I always wonder, when they do their job and give advice, right, about people that come in with their problems. They also have problems too. Mm-hmm. They're also seeing somebody on the side.
100%.
So I feel like, Rico, you damn near always right, whatever. But this is the only time where I'm like, you know what? Alan has the ability to show dudes to follow the path that he's on now. And his path is still going. So if they keep coming, they'll keep learning.
Correct.
Because remember, if you're
a teacher only needs to be a few steps ahead.
The average sex therapist or love therapist, they're single. A lot of them are single. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they still been through the path and they can learn. So don't think that you can't teach somebody a lesson because you're still involved in the profession. No, it's an ongoing battle of being a husband and a wife. So a young man can learn from Alan, because Alan is older than him by a lot. And Alan could give him the right tools to get to where he's at now. And then it's his turn now to learn and go on his own.
That tool is a heavy dose of reality.
Yeah.
Because Instagram is such a facade, we do need people to interrupt that mindset about, listen, I want it all right now. Let's just skip to the good part. I just want to skip to the good part. I just want to go on the honeymoon. I just want to have the house. I just want to have the 3 kids. I just want the Mercedes-Benz. And they don't understand that there are multiple, hundreds, thousands of steps, missteps, back steps that has to be taken in order to have all of those things that you said that you want, but they don't have the discipline to do so because they're too busy at home with their phone in their hand, being relaxed. Because it's either you or his other 26-year-old friends that are telling him what to do. Wouldn't you want to be the difference to help him understand, hey, I know this is life as you see it, but let me pivot you for a little bit and show you what it looks like when you invest, when you pour into someone, when you repair a relationship, because me and my wife didn't always have it good, right? Me and my partner, we didn't always have it good. We bumped heads, but we worked on our relationship by fixing some of the damage. We didn't just let it fester and build up. Wouldn't it be the difference to talk to them instead of having them with the phone in the palm of their hand, making these assumptions, listening to men who haven't gotten past the brink of brokenness? There is a mountain of men who are broken, and they're the loudest on the social media, on the platforms. But I do know a lot of great men who are married. They have their kids. My sister and her husband, they're doing wonderful. We're just in their backyard, living it up in their pool and everything like that. And there aren't a whole bunch of young men around to glean from this man who figured it out. Because being married and having a house right now is like life's greatest mystery.
You're talking about the mass majority of men who are listening to the wrong people, correct? Mm-hmm. So let's just go with this hypothetical that 100% of men, out of 100% of men
Right.
25% of men are only going to do the work.
Right.
The problem is the work has changed.
Okay.
So the same work that Alan had to do is not the same work today. So now when you tell him to mentor somebody and he's like, you never had a gun, you had a knife. You're not dealing with the same women I'm dealing with. You had different women over there. We have different women over here. So your methods of how to make this woman work or how to make me work with this woman may not work because this woman has not listened to the woman that you had. So now you have an imbalance on both sides. So before we start saying, hey, look, young men, we have to go ahead and do this way, you have to really understand that men are only going to do what is necessary for a woman. And right now, women need to check women because it's not necessary for me to be a good man to get them. It is not necessary. I could be the worst dude in the world. I could be a scammer. I could be all these different things. I'm still going to have the cream of the crop.
So if women are checking women, who are checking men?
But we check men.
Okay, so
we check
hold
men.
on a second. That is exactly the very same thing.
She don't check men.
I do not check men. I definitely do not check men.
Thank you. He checked you.
I do not. I do not check men. For the record, I work with men. I get their feedback and their input. I use my degrees, my knowledge, my heart, and all these things, and work it together. But what I'm saying is, you're making my point. Women should be checking women, and so therefore, men should be checking men. And then that would be someone like Alan, who has a beautiful marriage, and he has figured it out. And even though he may have had a knife and they had a gun, it is still weaponry. You can still teach discipline. You can still teach principles. You can still help them understand the larger scope. Why do I feel like y'all about to pounce on me?
No. Look.
Okay.
They can
Change.
take that knife and chop your whole hand with that gun.
Change. Look, change with. Look, change.
They're moving in. They're moving in.
The change needed to change love in our community can only start with one, and that's the woman. Because men will only do what's allowed for us to do. So when you guys change first and set new rules, new standards,
we'll adjust.
You will have to adjust because to obtain you, I have to do certain things. Nowadays, when I meet a woman, it's less to do to obtain you. So my thing is, yeah, men have to change and get better and be more respectful and provide more, be more masculine, be more. I get it, but the respect part that can only come from the ones who dictate it, and that's the woman. Unless you change, we won't change. Y'all more naked, we're more rude. Y'all more out there, so are we. It comes from y'all. It's up to y'all to change it first.
So you don't think that at any point in time men have created an environment, an atmosphere to have women believe that being naked is desirable. You don't see at all how men have positioned women in a way in a media sense, right? That was something that we talked about once before.
You've been right all day. Listen, as long as men have been making babies, being naked has been a good thing all the time. It didn't get cool to be naked now. No, now it's being more okay to be naked. So, men always wanted women to be beautiful and sexy.
Let me build it up with you.
Yeah, that's normal.
I want to build it up with you. Would you consider it to be a desire for men to be leaders?
Today?
I'm not going to lie. That's not really on a man's to-do list nowadays to be a leader.
In general.
I mean, for his business, probably, and what he's doing in his life, yeah, but no.
In his house?
Like a leader as what though?
Like
define that.
So do you think that women? This is what I'm hearing you say, and then you can correct me instead of me like weaving around. I'll just put it plain, and you tell me what you think. What I'm hearing you say is that women are the leaders of today, and that if we want to see any change, we need to make that move.
Okay.
I don't think that women aren't. I don't think that a woman is the absence of being a leader, but I think that men are leaders as well. I think that we need to come together and agree that we've both been agitating the extremes of the normalities about what relationships, life, family structure needs to look like. The both of us. I think as long as we keep playing with these gender wars, nothing is getting resolved. Men have poured into it. Women have poured into it. Women haven't made it better. Men haven't made it better. Men are influential. Men do inspire women to make changes. Men have controlled a lot of how women dress, a long history, down to changing the name of the piano legs to something else because that was too salacious. Men were in control of that. When a man wants
to cover you up, it's called him being controlling. When a man wants to have his wife not covered and like have her covered up and show, and having her body not out there, y'all call that controlling. He's big-headed. He isn't confident.
Misogynist.
So don't use that because across the world there are places where a woman can't show her body. They hate it over there. It's called cruel. It's called inhumane. So don't use that. It has to come from y'all because we enter you. We enter you.
Correct.
You have to ask to enter you, ask to date you. You are really in
that
control.
means that we receive.
And now you're denying it to me. No, baby, you are in control. Because if every woman said, from now on, I ain't fucking no dude on the first date. I ain't gonna accept no dude that's not gonna be open doors, flowers, whatever. Then we will have to adapt to your new demands. You are in control. We might act like it, but you are in control.
So what I'm saying is, I will not say that to be a woman is absent of being a leader, right? We all have our place. We all have our part. We all have our lane, right? I can respect that, the lane that you're describing as woman that I have, right? That I might be ignorant to because I'm the one who's sitting in it, right? So I have my blinders on as far as how much control I have and the power of the PUSSY, right? I may just not have that understanding, and you're helping me to understand that. I'm saying to you also, as a woman, I can also share with you that as a man, you do actually influence me. The way that you look at me, the kind of attention that I receive as a woman by how I dress and how you treat me does influence me. So what if men stopped paying attention to women who were being salacious? What if men adopted the attitude of self-discipline and self-control and stop, fiending over the woman who got the BBLs and have the lip injections and got the bag and doing all these things? What if men said, I don't want to look at that anymore. I'm not hollering at her anymore. I'm not dropping a band on her anymore. I'm not getting her a bag. The bag I'm going to give is to the woman who actually wants to build a home. The woman that I'm going to pour and invest into is the woman who is homely. I'm not doing that. What if men did that? What if men did that in tandem while women were saying no? Why does it have to be it's all on women or it's all on men?
Because you know why? In the United States government website, they had a whole article on how women are the biggest competitors out of both species. And that a woman is a safer competitor than a man because men, when we compete, we get to a point of violence versus when women compete, they get to a point of basic, I don't want to call it catty, but cattiness.
Sure.
It's safer for women to be the leaders than it is a man. So women have become the...
Standing on that, Rico.
I'm standing...
Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Standing on that.
You're
standing on that.
No. Listen to me. It's safer.
You're standing on that.
It's safer for women to be the leaders than the man, which is why...
At the table, pigs are flying. Rico Hundo just said...
Wait. First of all, I'm not saying it's smarter. Wait, listen. I didn't say it's smart, and it's actually detrimental.
Okay.
But it's
let's
safer.
Have a full conversation.
It's safer.
Detrimental.
It's safer in the sense of there is less violence and chaos. If Guapo is in control and I'm in control, and
we that sounds like that sounds like
finish, Cassandra.
Absolutely not.
Cassandra, nah, bro, nah, I didn't.
Trojan horse.
No, listen, because
safe is.
Cassandra,
safe is a Trojan horse. Safe is a Trojan horse where now you're basically saying that if women are competitive and they get to come into these environments and they're doing all these things that's safe, that sounds like a gift. That sounds like the gift that women have been given men by showing off their bodies has been so unsuspecting that it's entered into our homes. It's in our homes. It's on our television.
Wait, hold on. Cassandra, did I cut you off?
You did. You have.
No. Did I cut you off right now? I let you guys both go. So I'm just going to ask you kindly, let me finish.
Okay, you can have that.
Right? So when I say that, it said that it's safer for women to be in control because it's less chaotic in terms of violence. I personally believe is more detrimental to society, which is why you have 1 out of 4 kids being raised with only one parent, majority of it being a woman, and half of those being men. So you have half of these kids of men being raised without a father in some sort of capacity, right? Which is detrimental. Then you can't tell people like Alan or others that, hey, you have to reprogram a son's brain that was only around his mother for 30 years of his life to then learn how to be a man and or sustain a relationship when there's never been one present for you. Same thing, flip on the opposite side of women. So now when I say women are the leaders, they've positioned them to be that way. You guys have been getting left off the hook for certain things. You women have been getting left off the hook for certain things, and that's really by design. So now when we say about it like, hey, okay, you telling Guapo that we influence you. No, we don't. Money has influenced you. You know why? Because women has lost their morals. Not all, but a lot of women has lost their morals over a dollar bill, over an invisible dollar through an app that's being sent on Cash App. It doesn't even, you can't even physically touch this dollar. So now when you're like, all right, cool, how can I influence somebody who is over here thirsty for money? Because we are all being deprived of our realistic, finances.